Okay. I'm here with Leni Cavazos, and I'm really looking forward to this talk because you have an amazing program that I want everybody to hear about. So just kind of maybe start off. I'm Ron Morris with Viazara. We're going to talk about your amazing retreat planning program, masterclass. But first of all, let's just kind of get into what got you started in the retreat planning business.
Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you so much for having me here. And I just want to start by saying that this got me started by a passion that I am sure many of you listening share the same passion with me, that it's transforming the world and leaving it a better place than we found it like. And for me, in my personal journey, I actually transformed my life through retreats. They just absolutely changed my life. I actually went into a 6-month journey of going into retreats almost every single week. So I am the person who says, go big or go home.
Okay, all right.
So I started going into the retreat journey myself to heal, to transform, to find my identity again, to figure out who I wanted to become, what was working, what was not. And as I was in this journey, because of my background in marketing and hospitality, I started seeing a couple of things that I was like, oh, this is not great. Like people could be doing so much more and like really building it as a business and changing more people's lives.
Yeah.
And specifically, it happened when I was in one retreat that it really changed my life. It was this women's retreats. All the other retreats that I've been, yoga teacher trainings, everything else, it was all co-ed. So girls and boys all together. And this was the first one that I went that was all women. And it was just so deep and powerful. And it just changed my life. It got me to see myself as someone I forgot I was. And it was just like, I keep saying powerful, but there's no better word to describe it. And I became friends with the hosts and I started having conversations with them. And then suddenly we were having the hard conversation of saying, well, this is amazing. We spent so many months planning this, but we barely broke even. And I just couldn't stand it. I was just like, how is this possible? Like this retreat just changed my life in so many ways. It's worth like over $100,000. Like that retreat is still having ripple effects in my life today. So it's just like, it was a priceless retreat for me. And I was like, how is it possible that then other people won't be able to experience this because it's not financially suitable?
Right. Well, that's a really interesting story, and I think we share a common passion around helping the retreat industry really, and the retreat leaders really position their retreats properly, get education into the marketplace, really let people know what's available, what the alternatives are. And I love you were describing the course, that you offer, the masterclass earlier. Tell us more about that, because I think that could be really helpful to a lot of retreat leaders.
Yes, certainly. So I created, because of this, because of this like big urge for me to get more people to go into retreats and to transform their lives, I decided I wanted to focus my expertise in event planning, marketing, sales, PR, everything all together into this space, into the containers of retreats. And I went into this journey of actually interviewing over 100 retreat leaders to figure out what was happening, where were the problems coming from, why were people not filling up their retreats, why were not they actually treating it as business, and it was kind of more on the freelance hobby kind of spectrum rather than the place of like, yes, this is what I'm doing and this is how I want to change the world and impact it. And I decided I wanted to focus in this aspect. So I actually created a system. It's called the Epic Retreat System, Realization System. It's all about realizing your dream and no longer being a retreat dreamer and actually becoming a retreat creator. So we can actually go through the system, right? So inside of this system, like, and I teach this inside of my masterclass. So after these like free masterclass, I do have to say you have to get yourself ready because it's 4 hours of powerful information and it's going to change your life.
Awesome.
Go through the whole systems, through the 4 steps that we cover. That it's the first one, it's aligned for profit. How do I need to be aligned with my passion, with my purpose, with my mission in the world? And how do I align that so it's actually a feasible business, right? And then from them, we go into the space of designing for profit. So how do I actually design it? How do I design this container, this retreat, this space, so it actually creates transformation and it's for the right customer, right? For these ideal clients. So many times we've been told that our ideal client is going to stay the same throughout time, and that's not true. As we change, as we transform ourselves, our ideal client will evolve as well. So we need to also understand it, because then we don't just stay with one thought. We learn how we can figure out who's our ideal client depending on which phase of our business we're at, right?
Right.
And then from there we go into like crafting an offer that sells, because why would you have a retreat if you're not going to sell it to anyone? If it's going to stay there in the, like, you know, the bank of ideas, we need to learn how to create an offer that actually sells. And it's one of the key components. And inside of it, we talk about pricing, that I am so deeply passionate about pricing, because I truly believe that most of the times when a retreat doesn't sell, it's because the pricing is not right. So either we like, and I'm like giving a little bit of snippets already here, but we don't believe in the price ourselves, it's not going to sell.
Interesting. Wow. So what when people go through the course, tell me some outcomes that people have. Tell me some success stories.
Oh, yes. I love talking about success stories, because this is the reason why I do what I do, because I want to see more people succeeding. So I can tell you, for example, about Tiffany. Tiffany was 10 years waiting to host retreats, right? It was in her dream board, like her vision board. She wanted to host retreats, and then she just wouldn't take the step until we met and she went through my program. And we actually set all the steps for her to actually build not just one retreat, but a retreat business. She went through the process of launching her first retreat while we were working together. And now she's hosting retreats every 3 months, with plans of hosting a retreat in 2025 in Bali, another one in Greece, and in Mexico. And all her retreats now are sold out. They're super profitable. She's excited. This is her core business now. She has left her other small ticket items on the side, and this is her main focus. And it's so beautiful to see someone realize their dreams after 10 years of desiring to have that.
That's great.
I can talk about so many more, right?
Well, tell us more. Tell us more.
So Tiffany, she works with moms, right? And she's actually transitioning now into creating these retreats that are also for families, right? So the kids can come, because that's one of the big things that happens. Like, you're a mom and then you want to go into retreats, and where do I leave the kids? Right? That's the question. Where do I leave them, right? Like, I need to take care time for me, but like, what do I do with the kids, right? And then from there, like, we have also like Niels, he's a physiotherapist. So like, all the physiotherapists, they need to get these points every year to renew their license, right? And he's like, I want to take that outside of the meeting room and take people into wonderful, amazing destinations. So he does running camps. So they have the piece where they learn all the updates and physiotherapy, they get their points, but they also have a running coach. So they've done retreats in Kenya, in France, in Switzerland, in so many different places. And he also has like surf camps. So if you want to bring another element of your life inside of your space, and then create something that will help people, right? So this is also a great idea for nurses or therapists, that they need to get their points and certifications every year. How can you do it outside of this boxed up hotel room where you just go, you take sessions the whole day, and then off you go, right?
And we talked about this earlier. When you get out of your comfort zone and you're much more open to learning, and to receiving. And I think that's so important. That sounds like some of the things you talk about in your master class. Just basically how to structure it for ultimate success and how to position it, right?
Yeah, like really how we position ourselves as a unique opportunity makes such a huge difference. Like, I was actually like finished, like we were wrapping up one of the programs today, and it was like so emotional and so powerful. But I was like telling them, like, I could give away everything that I teach. I could give you the scripts. I could like give you the programs. I could give you everything. And there's no single person in this world that will be able to teach you what I teach you and how I teach it to you, because my experiences, what I've gone through in life, what I've learned, like, I don't know, I'm like a little bit of a nerd. So like I've read over 1,000 books by now. So like, anyway, like I can pull out so many examples, so many different things from different scenarios, life experiences, that I am unique.
Mhm.
And because of that, I have no competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can do, like, anyone who's listening to this, you can do the same. Like,
Yeah.
we are trained to believe that everything is a competition and that you need to be better than the other person. The only person you need to be better is yourself. You need to just improve yourself and just become better and better. If you don't know how to do something, go hire someone who can help you through that process, right?
Right.
Just keep a little bit of the learning curve in a way. Like,
Yeah.
use the people who have walked that path before you.
Yeah. I also, as I was reviewing your materials earlier on LinkedIn, I noticed that you also are incorporating a lot of the latest state of the art techniques when it comes to AI and using ChatGPT, which is so important because there's so much that people can do who maybe they're a great writer, maybe they're not, but with the use of AI, they can be a spectacular writer,
Yeah.
and really romance the ideal customer, really reach that ideal customer uh, with a message that appeals to them. And so much of that I'm sure you teach in your course.
Yes, I actually created a whole protocol to build your retreat sales pages through AI, but making sure that your voice is still portrayed. So I
Yeah.
actually teach you how to train AI so it sounds like you. So it's
Yeah.
actually representing your values, your tone of voice, your messaging. It's talking to your ideal client. So you use it as a helper, right? It's not like, it doesn't like a lot of people will just go and use AI and you will see it in the emails. You can like I can see it. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this
Yeah.
email is 100% like, write me an
Yeah.
email on how to sell this.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then
Yeah.
you can definitely tell that it's AI created. But
Right.
how about you actually use it as a tool
Right.
instead of as a crunch, right? Like, because
Right.
that's the thing that it happens a lot. We tend to use it now as a crunch, and it's like, no, no, no. Utilize all the technology around you, but also don't become dependent on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I teach you how to actually sell retreats without a website.
Yeah. Interesting. How's that? Tell me more.
Yeah, so you can actually create retreats and you can create a reel for Instagram that has a call to action. You can create a PDF. I love PDFs. I do them actually, like, tip here. I do it in a story format already. So because most people see their things on their phone, right? So you can actually see it this way. So no more landscape, story style. So when people see it on their phone, they can really look at it as it's a presentation, like if they were looking at something on Instagram. And just putting all the details there. Once you see there's traction, there's people interested, then you can go build a website. But the reality is that we tend to use websites, copy, sales strategy, ideal client as excuses not to go out there and promote a retreat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so true. So true. And I, like I said, we share a common passion toward trying to help the retreat leaders and centers become more successful and actually make more people in the world aware of this as a travel option, as a vacation option, an option alternative to a vacation, or maybe combined with a vacation. So it's learning and vacationing at the same time. So we definitely share a passion there, and I love what you're doing. It's so awesome. And let's talk about, what do you see as the future, the trends for the retreat industry?
Oh, yes. Okay. So I love this. And I do actually talk about it inside of my programs and inside of like Epic Retreats Live. I do touch a little bit on like the what the trends that are coming up into the space. So I want to start with the first one. So there's a big trend actually on luxury travel purchase. It's the same as the actually luxury cars travel, and it's the highest number in the last 10 years. So like a lot of people, I hear a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, there's recession, no one is buying. There is people who are buying.
Oh, yes. Oh,
there is. So like, again, we hide behind excuses, right? Like we hide behind the busy work, or we hide behind there's not enough clients out there. I'm here to tell you there's 23 million millionaires in America only.
Yeah.
And you don't need someone to be a millionaire to go to your retreat.
Yeah, you know, I think what's interesting is I think sometimes people see that through their own lens without looking at the real empirical data and seeing that, you know, there are people out there with money to spend, and they have the discretionary funds, they are willing to do, they're looking for extraordinary experiences. They're looking for things that they haven't done, things that are out of just, and they have the resources. So there's nothing really going to stop them from doing it. They just have to see something that catches their eye. And then at the same time, if they can combine that with, you know, self-care, you know, some type of healing, some type of self-improvement, more the better, right?
Yes. And I would say, for example, like, okay, so the wellness tourism industry is going to be growing on a 16.6% annual growth per year. It's huge, right? Like I was saying earlier, right? Like the coaching industry is going to be growing on a 5.5%. Like it's like the difference is gigantic. By like 2027, they're expecting the wellness business to be within $7.3 trillion. Like, like it's growing in a unmeasurable way. People are looking for this. Like people are looking to have wellness in their travel. They're looking to change their lives. They're looking to have more transformation. Actually, transformation is now on the top tier of reasons why people purchase things. There is no better time than now to start living your dream. There's no better time. Like right now is the moment. Like don't wait until the boat has like left. Like right now is the time to get on the boat. Like I know, like I'm a huge advocate of retreats. So some people might be like, well, but not everything has to be about retreats. And yes, I can agree with that. But if you have this itch inside of you that says, I want to host retreats, don't wait for 10 years. Don't wait for 6 years. A lot of the people I work with is because they've been dreaming about this for 6 years, 5 years, 10 years. And it comes to a point where they realize, well, I tried to do it on my own and I haven't done it. Maybe there's someone who can help me in this process.
Well, they oftentimes, the retreat host or leader, you know, they might lack a certain marketing expertise. They might lack some of the planning business elements, but they've got the passion, they've got the skill, they can help so many people. And so that's what I like to say is just, you know, follow that dream and make it happen. And because there's so many people out there that can benefit from that. And that's really what we're all about at Viazara, is helping people become aware of those opportunities.
Yeah, and I have to say, like inside of my programs are like these beautiful containers for transformation, because it's not just about learning how to do retreats. You're gonna come out as a completely new, different person, because you get to become a new human being that like makes their dreams come reality. I truly believe that you are supposed to be focused on your zone of genius, and that's the place where you want to be, and you want to be spending your time. And one of my zone of genius is actually like marketing and creating all these amazing tools. So I have created so many tools. Like you get email sequences, you get an ideal client workbook. There's like a 22-page workbook that has like research and everything, tells you exactly what you need to know about your ideal client. You actually get the 7 steps of a marketing campaign that you can launch. You get templates for your website. You get templates for your social media. Like you get everything, so you can actually focus on your zone of genius, because I don't want any excuses. I don't want people telling me like, oh, well, but I don't know how to create a social media post. You have it. You just go fill in the blank and it's ready for you.
Right. And I think one of the things that people need to understand too is that not all of it has to be like really super perfect and professional. It just letting people see your authentic self, letting people get to know you. That's a lot of, you know, that can go a long way towards enabling your success, coupled with all the other things that you're teaching in your master class. It's so awesome. Well, I really appreciate you sharing this. Is there anything else you'd like people to know?
Yeah, I want to say, add into what you just said, like the timings of the vanity metrics, where the travel influencer that showed the pictures in the Maldives sipping a coconut are over.
Yeah.
True, radical honesty, authenticity.
Yeah.
That's what people are craving for. They want to see that you are human because they are human too. It's not about achieving this unachievable goal or dream. It's about realizing that you're actually closer than you think. Like, imagine if you sign up to my class in Epic Retreats Live, and in just a couple of weeks, you have a retreat ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, you're so much closer than you think. Sometimes it's just one step that we need to take. So whatever that step is for anyone listening here, just take it. Like imperfect action.
Yeah. No, we are in complete sync, and I really appreciate this, and we will share it out. We'll include the details of your master class and all the details to get a hold of you in the comments section and on the video here. We'll include that information. But I really appreciate you taking this time and letting us hear
My
more
pleasure.
about it. All right.
My pleasure. I hope I get some people get inspired by our amazing conversation, Ron. Thank you so much for having me.